However, I can tell you from extensive experience that the first roadblock to understanding the generations is the very common and default behavior of trying to reach people based solely on personal experience from when you were that age. This causes well-meaning and intelligent people to assume. And as the old adage goes, when you assume, you make an ass, a donkey, out of you and me. When I was a youth pastor during my mid to late 20s in a somewhat rural area of western Colorado, I was very interested in not only creating an atmosphere that was conducive to young people wanting to attend, but also to engage them in meaningful worship. Enabled by my leadership position to make decisions as I saw fit, I set about to fulfill the vision in my head. We had a haze machine, motion lights, color LEDs, video game machines, piles of pizza, and all the cool stuff. It was awesome. The only problem was that some of the kids complained that they didn't like the smoke, and not too many of the kids played the games after the new wore off. I never put too much stock into what these youth kids had to say because I loved it, and so did all of my leaders. I can remember thinking, and even telling some students, you just don't know what's cool. The truth, however, was quite the opposite. I didn't know what was cool. Though I had successfully created all the things that I wished we would have had when I was a teenager, now that I was 10 years older, I didn't realize that cool had changed. This fresh batch of teenagers didn't want flashing lights or to play nostalgic old video games like the ones in the arcades I grew up going to. They wanted a chill place to chat with their friends. I, however, was too blinded by what I thought they wanted to be able to see the difference. I can't tell you how many times I have seen people make the exact same mistake that I did, making things how they wish they would have been now that they finally have the power to make decisions. It's all in the name of reaching young people, but in reality, their strategy is attempting to reach young people who are now middle-aged. Now, that's not to say that you can't have lights, haze machines, and fulfill the vision in your head. However, if what you are doing is supposed to reach the young people, then plans should be made to reach the current young people and not the former young people. The new old. The second obstacle is similar, and that is trying to reach people based on old information, which is basically the same as the first obstacle, just this time without any personal experience. This is especially true when trying to reach groups that are older than you are. Since you don't have any experience at being older than you are now, you are not blinded by experience, but you are naturally still ignorant as to how this group sees the world and to how they will react. When you think about older people, or even quote-unquote old people, it's quite common to find that most younger people have not updated their mental databases. The words older person usually conjures up images of grandparents, and people tend to automatically insert their own grandparents. I only know this because it's what I used to do, even though all of my grandparents have long since passed away from old age,